What is up, Jamily? Welcome to another episode of JamiroFan Talks About, where I take a look at the past, present, and future of Jamiroquai and the music and everything Jamiroquai related over the last 27 years of their musical history. And I thought I'd take a look at the live performance side of Jamiroquai in this episode of JamiroFan Talks About. And what I mean is, I'll give you a little bit of context. The Jamiroquai Live Setlist, or when Jamiroquai performs live over the last, probably say, 3 album eras, has really changed. Back in the first 3-4 albums that Jamiroquai did, when they went and supported their album out in the live venue or the live touring scene, they kind of stuck to a playlist or a set list of songs that the fans, or a majority of the fans that went to see them live, would know. And as with every progressing album era came along, the set list would dramatically change. But kind of, I say about starting around maybe around Rock Dust Light Star, which of course was 2011, Jamiroquai's set list kind of stuck to a bit of what most of the members of the Jamily called a greatest hits kind of template, where basically Jamiroquai had an amazing back catalog of music, of well-known singles and well-known albums, and they would just go ahead and just go through the hits in their live performances, and but there would be a little bit of they would kind of alter the concept of the live set list into 2 main formats, specifically during the last 3 album tours, and I'll break them down for you very simply. They have a set list that they stick to for festival appearances. Now, festivals are always a showcase of a plethora of all these different artists throughout a multi-day music festival, and many of these artists that go to these music festivals to perform, and the bigger the band, the shorter the time they seem to have to perform, they would end up having to ended up having a short amount of time to perform in. If they're in a country performing at a music festival that has curfew or has legislation on the books for them to stop at a specific time of night of performing, so that young people that are under the age of whatever the legal age in that country is don't break curfew, then that artist would be under a little bit of live pressure to try to condense or truncate their live performance set list. And Jamiroquai has, in some cases, when they were playing multi-day music festivals, their set list would be very small. But there would be a benefit in that small live music festival set list. The songs would be longer. And what I mean by that is, like I said, as I prefaced at the beginning of this video, when Jamiroquai started performing a lot of their standards, they kind of started bringing a little bit of the old school freeform jazz back to it. And what I mean by that is, they would take the original composition of, like, say, All Right. They would take that and they would add in a little bit of little interludes, instrumental solos, and just straight up jam sessions in the midst of performing a song, a Jamiroquai song. And so in the case of All Right, which was about 4 to 5 minutes long, they could take that song length and make it up to 10 minutes long. So there was a bit of a benefit in the festival template of the live set list. And then, of course, you have the other set list, which is the one-off concert template, where they could play gigs where the festival set list is kind of a con, with them having a limited amount of time to perform. The one-off concert the one-off concert had the pro of being over 2 hours long, because Jamiroquai's average performance time at a concert outside of a music festival can be up to 2 to 2.5 hours. Because during the Automaton tour, as an example, from 2017 to 2018, they played a lot of one-off tour dates that weren't in music festival type of format of a live performance. So they were able to do performances up to 2 to 2.5 hours long, and that was a real boon for the fans that were there of the Jamily and went to see them live, because they could get more songs into the set list. And in these one-off concerts, like in a good example is when I went to New York to see them at Forest Hill Stadium last September in 2018, we got an over 2-hour performance, and they had a lot of songs in there. They were able to perform songs maybe not in that jazzy style that you would see in the festival set list, but you could get a lot of songs in those one-off concert set lists. And that was really one of the biggest pros of that secondary style of set list that Jamiroquai is known to do in their live concerts. And you could get many more songs, where a festival set lists. I'll give an example. The most recent May 11th performance, second tour date of 2019 at the Jamiroquai Live Festival, was only the original set list got out a few hours prior to their performance at the Jamiroquai Live Festival, and it had over 13 songs printed out. Now, those set lists are only preliminary, and they can change on the fly on stage. So when JK is standing there and they go to a song break, JK could say yes or no and just not really mark them out, but he can cue to the band when they're going to skip songs, or they're going to go do a new song, or they're going to do a song that's unexpected. So, you know, it's pretty interesting to see how the set list changes between these two main formats. But, you know, as I said, when I saw them in New York, it was an over 2-hour performance, and they were amazing, and they had at least... Well, as for the song number, the festival templates can go between, I'd say, 11 to 13 songs, whereas the one-off concerts song playlist could go up to about 15, 16 songs. So, yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons with both styles of live set lists that Jamiroquai have incorporated into their live performance over the last, I'd say, like 3 album eras, and that would be, of course, the High Times, Rock This Light Star, and Automaton. But as I said, they are always a bit of an innovative band where they can just change songs they're going to play, add new songs that no one's expecting. You know, Jamiroquai have it surprise a lot of them jamily, especially during this album tour, with a lot of surprises. Some of the small examples of that is back in July of 2018 at, I believe it was Montreux, Jamiroquai brought out Street Fighter, which of course is an unreleased instrumental from the Automaton album era, which got debuted unexpectedly as the intro music before Jamiroquai came on the stage to start their performance. And then another surprise, they brought out Smile, which was a one-off single back in 2012 that was released to the Jamily as a free download, I believe via SoundCloud. And then Jamiroquai at the 50th concert of the Automaton tour was like, here's Smile. They live debuted Smile, which was totally unexpected. But I know the band wanted to make that concert, the 50th concert of the Automaton tour, very special, so they brought Smile out and they started playing that for the remainder of the 2018 leg of the Automaton tour. But yeah, I thought I recorded JamiroFan Talks about this interesting topic of the evolution of the live Jamiroquai set list, and it's very, very interesting. And I'm sure into the future their set list will get even more dramatically changed. More the fabric of their set list will continue to change, because when it comes to the live performance, bands can change and things can get much better, or they could get much worse. It's really up to the eye of the beholder, of the fan that spends their hard-earned money to see them live, to judge for themselves what they're seeing. But I hope you enjoyed this JamiroFan Talks About. But I'm very interested in your opinion about this topic that I discussed in today's JamiroFan Talks About. Which kind of live Jamiroquai set list do you prefer when you go see Jamiroquai live? Do you prefer the festival short set list but with long songs with a short time limit, or do you prefer the one-off concert with a longer performance time with up to 2 to 2.5 hours compared to the festival, which is only about an hour and a half, with more songs being performed live? I'm very interested in hearing your opinions of all the Jamily are watching this video, or in regards to this discussion topic. So please feel free to leave your feedback, opinions about this discussion topic down in the YouTube comment section below, in the description of this video down below. And if you see this video on the Jamiroquai subreddit, our Jamiroquai subreddit, be sure to leave you can leave your feedback and comments in the comments section of the posting of this JamiroFan Talks About episode on the R Jamiroquai subreddit. And as always, this is JamiroFan 2000, and I'll see you again really soon with more JamiroFan Talks About, more Jamiroquai Minutes, and much more Jamiroquai related videos here in the middle of the 2019 European Summer Tour here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. Bye-bye, everybody.